Let me know when you can hear me. It says you're joining right now. So let me know when it connects. Hi!
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Sorry if I'm kind of sounding a little slow right now. But I just have
Oh,
a headache from I just all of a sudden right before a lesson today got a massive headache from studying so much for something at
oh,
so I was wondering maybe we could talk and about our upcoming ideas or prompts
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it sounds like you've
because
been
I'm
working
afraid
really
I'm not
hard.
able to do my
Yeah, are you feeling a little tuckered out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Okay, so let's do a little bit of reflection. So, for one thing, let's think about since we had started lessons to now, what do you feel like are the things that you have improved in the most?
Well, a thing I felt like I improved the most was definitely um like t making sure I know how my vocals are, what would fit best with my voice and how to control speed or slow, my highs, my low, or just even my natural tone.
Yeah, love it. And then tell me, what do you feel like is one thing that you feel like you have continued to grow in a certain area, but that you still feel like, I still have room to grow in this area?
Well, things I have grown for in most areas are like my accents from around the world.
Yeah,
Most of
I
them I
agree.
feel like the strongest on, and there could be a couple that I might like to improve on.
Okay, yeah. So, what are some of the accents that you feel like you've gotten a lot more secure with? And what are some of the accents that you feel like you still have room to grow?
Well, I've been working completely, and my strongest grip are my French, my British, and my Russian.
Okay.
My tightest one, along with Irish, Cockney, and so on.
Okay.
But what I feel like I could work a little bit on, and comparing the difference between a country accent and a Southern Belle accent.
Ah, okay. So maybe like somebody who lives in the Appalachian Mountains, and then you have somebody who lives in like Georgia, and then somebody who lives in Texas, like from some different regions, who
Uh-huh.
also maybe have some different like socioeconomic backgrounds, because that would also affect their speech patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I love that idea, getting a little more nuanced with it. So rather than it just being kind of a general, like, oh, here's kind of a country twang, having it be a little more specific depending on the particular region or the particular like economic and social class and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think that's a great idea. More specificity. Love it. Um, What do you feel like is something maybe that we haven't really worked on, but that you feel like in the future is something you would like to work on?
Hmm. Well, something that I would like to really work on, and I saw this on YouTube before, where
Yeah.
one voice actress slash impressionist saw a bunch of artwork some random people just did in
Uh-huh.
general, and she selected the best some really good ones and to come up with voices for those artwork
Yeah,
pieces.
I love that. Yeah, so she takes like a painting someone did, and then she says, "Okay, I'm going to give this lady a voice and come up with, what's happening in this scene and in this character's life." That's pretty
Mm-hmm.
fun. That would be a really fun exercise. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Because you have one picture and then you have to create the whole world out of that picture. You have to create who the character is, what time period they're from, what's happening in this particular moment, how are they feeling in this moment. So all of that you have to take from that visual and then create something that's entirely auditory. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. That sounds like a really fun exercise and something that would
Yeah.
really challenge you creatively and making
Hmm.
really bold choices as an actor. I love that
Yeah.
idea. That sounds really fun. It's a little bit similar to what we did where we took the characters, like the cartoon characters. So we took like random cartoon characters that you maybe weren't familiar with, but then you had to create a voice for them. So it's a little bit similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah. But this time it was like artwork, like artists or just fun or just people who like to draw did.
Right, exactly. Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, it could even be like a tree, you know? It doesn't even have
Hmm.
to be necessarily a person, like a picture of a person character.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Love that idea. So, so then thinking about what you would want to do then, um, do you feel like you have the energy to try um to do one of the artwork ones today or to maybe play with like the country twang and a little more nuance?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
The second part, the Southern twang
Okay.
comparisons.
Absolutely.
I'll try my best.
Absolutely. Okay. Um, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna find a good one. Alrighty. This one looks fun. Alrighty. Okay, I'm gonna put this into the chat. So this is kind of like a Southern Belle kind of a character. So you can think kind of um like a Georgia peach kind of a feeling. Let's see. It's a little long, so let me chop off just a tiny bit of it. All right, there we go. So go ahead and take a silent read through here. Um, So we can think about things like elongating, like diamonds will be like diamonds, a little more elongated into an ah, diamonds. And then like the R's are going to drop. We're kind of soft on those ending consonants. After instead of after, after. The attitude, it's kind of like a mix of extreme politeness with like a very determined quality. Like just think, iron will, steel determination.
Hmm.
You're not really being mean. She's more resourceful. Um, I see her as like a little bit fiery, maybe a hint of manipulative in there.
Hmm.
So what do you think when you read through?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. And like I kind of see her as like, yeah, I kind of see where you're going through here.
Yeah. Okay. So, um, yeah, so let's go ahead and let's just have you read through once, just as yourself first, and then we'll go from there.
Let 'em stare. Every gossip from here to Savannah whisper into their tea service until their tongues turn sour. They think because the fences are broken and the silver is buried somewhere beneath the hydrants, that I've forgotten who I am. Lord, an the arrogance of men. They come back from the field, or the Capitol with their boots caked in mud, expecting us to be the same proclaimed dolls they left on the shelf. But dolls don't know how to wring a chicken's neck or bargain the with a carpetbagger for the very dress on their back. I've spent 3 years learning that lady is just a word people use when they want you to sit still and be quiet. And I am tired of being quiet. If I have to turn these velvet curtains into a gown and smile at a man I despise just to keep the roof from leaking, then I'll do it. And I'll have to do it better than any debutant debutant in Georgia.
Ah,
So let
debutante.
debutante in Georgia. So let the sun bake this red earth until it's cracked. I'm still standing on it, aren't I?
Okay, so what did you learn about the character here?
Oh, learned very much she's very okay, that's it. I don't care what anybody else takes. I'm taking the story by my own.
Okay, all
Like
right,
I'm
good.
tired of being quiet. It's my time to shine.
Yes, yes, exactly. Beautiful. All right, so then let's try that with that attitude and with the dialect.
All right. Here goes. Nothing. Let him stare. Let every gossip here from Savannah whisper into their tea service till their tongues turn sour. They think because the fans are broken and the silver is buried somewhere beneath the hydrants that I've forgotten who I am. Lord, the ignorance of man. They have come from the fields or the capital with their boots caked in mud, expecting us to be the same porcelain dolls they left on the shelf. But dolls don't know how to wring a chicken's neck or or bargain with a carpetbagger for the very dress on their back. I spent 3 years learning that lady is just a word people are using when they want you to sit still and be quiet. And I'm tired of being quiet. If I have to turn these velvet curtains into a gown and smile at a man I despise, just keep the roof from leaking, then I'll do it. And I'll do it better than any debutante in Georgia. So let the sun bake this red earth till it's cracked. I'm still standing on it, aren't I?
Good. All right. So, um, so tell me, what changed there?
What changed here? I did like elongate like the R's and the at the end like the stare. I did made that stare and I kind of also evaluate like dolls as dolls.
Mm-hmm. Dolls. Yeah.
And yeah, I kind of put like a little bit of toughness in it, but still kept it more like soft, but yet still loud enough so like people will hear my words.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Definitely. So then, what would you say? Do you have like a character inspiration or what do you kind of imagine for this?
Well, kind of imagine like this is like someone who's like very ambitious, very ready to go, I'm gonna do my own show, like I'm gonna be who I am, and even if ladies are we're like supposed to be like quiet, that's not me. I'm gonna be as loud as I can, and no one's gonna stop me.
Okay. Nice. Good. All right. So then, um, So let's go ahead and try one more time.
Alrighty. Alright. Lambs there. Every gossip from here to Savannah whisper into their tea service until their tongues turn sour. They think because the fences are broken and the silver is buried somewhere beneath the hydrants that they've forgotten who I am. Lord, the ignorance of man. They come back from the fields or the capitals with their boots caked in mud, expecting us to be the same porcelain dolls they left on the shelf. But dolls don't know how to wring a chicken's neck or bargain with a carpetbagger for the very dress on their backs. I spent 3 years learning that lady is just a word people use and they want you to sit still and be quiet. And I'm tired of being quiet. If I have to turn these velvet curtains into a gown and smile at a man I despise just to keep the roof from leaking, then I'll do it. And I'll do it better than any deputants in Georgia. So let the sun bake this red earth until it cracks. I'm still standing on it, aren't I?
Good. All right. How'd that feel?
Now that kind of felt more like very empowerment and very powerful.
Okay, good. All right. So then, um, good. So was there anything that you feel like if you did it again that you would change about it?
Not as well with this headache. It's kind of like hard for me to think, but for me, it
Oh,
kind of sounds pretty good.
yeah. And sometimes it's like, they say the show must go on, right? So it's like sometimes
Yeah.
practicing, performing even when you're not feeling your best can be an important skill just because you never know. Um, let's go ahead and switch it up. So this one's a little bit long, so I'm going to chop a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a contrasting character here. So for this one, we're gonna think a little bit more like a mountain kind of character. You know, they this character, they didn't grow up like on a plantation with luxury, right? They're gonna have, calloused hands and they're gonna have a little bit more like, harsh mountain winters and things. The accent here is gonna be faster, more rhythmic, think more mountain talk. So it's gonna be influenced by more of like a Scots Irish sort of structure to it, but it's still gonna have a little twang to it. Um, one thing that they do a lot is like a fixin', like the sky's a fixin' to snow, a fixin'. So they add this little before something.
Uh-huh.
They put it before verbs. So like it just adds that authentic kind of regional lilt, like I'm a fixin' to, or like um, I'm a gonna go, so like adding before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a gonna look, right? Or I'm a hold it, kind of things like that.
Yeah.
They do kind of flat vowels. The Georgia Bell kind of sound is a little more tall and rounded. These are going to be kind of tight nasally. Fire becomes a little more like fire, and then tire becomes like tire. So tight and nasally. Bar, tar.
Mm-hmm.
Stick them in your nose. We're not going to draw it out as much. Like fire, tire, right? I'm tired.
All
Light a
right.
fire, right? It's going to be more light the fire,
Mm-hmm.
fix the tire. The energy, it's not going to be ladylike. It's not going to be graceful. It's much more survival instincts. So think a little more weariness, but steadiness in your voice. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it.
Mommy used to say the mountains hold you close so the rest of the world can't find you. Well, I reckon they're holding us so tight we're about to suffocate. You look at that ridge, and you see pretty. I look at it and I see a wall. It's the same wall my granddaddy broke his back against, and his dad before him, digging out coal just to buy back the air he was breathing from the company store. Now the mines are shut, the town's gone quiet as a tomb, and we all and and all we got left is the dam and the dock. Doc says I ought to take the ball down to the valley. Say the cough won't ever leave him so long as we're living in the shadows of the slang heap. With what money, I ask? You can't eat the view. You can't spread the memories. I've got 3 jars of pickled beans, a mo a mule with a limp, and a wool pine that's looking mighty thin for February. I heard I heard tell there's working hard in this they're working in the city, punching clocks and breathing exhaust. Maybe.
Okay. All right. So tell me what you observed from this first read through.
Well, what I observed with this first read through was very I did leave out the lady and be more tough and a little bit of gruff there.
Okay.
And very I think this character really absorbs in his environment
Okay.
and I very really express the words like valley and ba and whatnot and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Nice. So, so if you were going to tweak anything or change it, what would you change?
Maybe maybe make it a little bit faster.
Okay.
At least
So speeding it up a little bit.
mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I agree. Yeah, a little more fast talking. Let's try it.
Uh, all right. Mm. Mommy used to say the mountains hold you so close the rest of the world can't find you. Well, I reckon they're holding us so close, so tight, we're about to suffocate. You look at that ridge and you see pretty. I look at it and I see a wall. That's the same wall my granddaddy broke his back against, and his dad before him, digging out coal just to buy the bag of air, just to buy back the air he was breathing from the company store. Now the mines are shut, the town's gone quiet as a tomb, and all we got left is the damp in the dark. Doc says I ought to take the boy down to the valley. Says the cough won't ever leave him so long as we're living in the shadows of the slang heap. With what money, I ask? You can't eat the view. You can't spread the memories. I've got 3 jars of pickled beans and a mule with a limp and a wood pile that looks mighty thin for February. I heard there's I heard tell there's work in the city, punching clocks and breathing exhausted. Maybe.
All right. Very nice. Okay, yeah, we definitely got that tempo change there. So, when you speed it up, what else changes? What else do you notice?
Um, kind of added a little bit of that A in there and a couple of words,
Hmm.
like down to a valley, but of course it was like going a kind of a little, I'm so sorry. A little fast that you could hardly tell the difference.
So did it so by speeding it up, did anything else change? Like the vocal tone or the diction or the phrase shapes or how much like inflection you had with the rise and fall, like the pitch changes.
Oh yeah. Well, with the tone changes, I kind of exaggerated with the question near the end, like, with what money, I ask.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I also like and another part with too, like at the part like you look at a ridge and you see pretty. I look at it and I see a wall. It's the same wall my granddaddy broke his back against and his daddy before him.
Yeah. Do you feel like
So
it makes it more expressive or less expressive? Does it make it more like
more expressive,
stubborn, more dramatic?
more expressive and dramatic.
Okay, nice. Yeah, awesome. Um, yeah, the Georgia one, that like Southern Belle sound, it's a lot more laid back, a lot more slow, a little more like relaxed feeling, right?
Hmm.
And then what is this one in contrast? How would you describe the energy?
Very like loud and boastful.
Yeah. Yeah, loud, boastful, more like strong in your face.
Hmm.
Even like confrontational at times, I'd almost
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Good contrast. So if you were going to tell somebody else your advice on how they could work on these two scripts, what would you tell them?
What I would probably like tell them is like see how you can like hear and maybe even try out how the two main differences between Southern like regular country
Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
and
and
maybe
what we're
like see.
finding is that that Southern accent can mean multiple different things, right? And it's a lot
Yeah.
dependent upon where regionally it is. Then it's also dependent upon who the character is. What is their socioeconomic status? How old are they? When in time do they live, right? Because if somebody's like a Southern belle from you know, the 1800s or something, that's going to be very different than somebody who's more of like a modern day Southern Belle. So,
Yeah.
considering the context is going to have a strong effect on things. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So then for next time, did you want to try that other exercise we talked about where we take a piece of artwork and then we try to give voice to it? We
Yeah.
also could work on some other southern regions as well, um, if you'd like, or taking even like with British different regions, or even other American regions. So looking at just different areas of America and the different dialects that we run into. But we also could play with that, taking a piece of art and creating a voice based on what you see in the picture.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that would be really fun. Do you like
Yeah.
that idea?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope that your head feels better. Maybe, I don't know if you're dehydrated or you just need to rest a little bit. I hope it
And I
feels
know it's just
better.
from studying so much for school.
Yeah, sometimes like you can get eye strain from just like staring at a screen or at papers for and books for so long. Um, yeah, so maybe just get a little bit of rest. I'm sorry your head's hurting. I hope it
It's
feels better
okay.
soon.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I hope you have a wonderful evening, Izzy, and I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Okay, bye-bye.